Namaskar. My name is Dr. Sanjay Monga. I welcome you all to this session. We are discussing the concept of gig economy first. Here we will discuss three important topics. First is the meaning of gig economy. Second, what is the importance of gig economy? And third is how is it shaping modern employment structures in India? So let's take these topics one by one. First, go to the meaning of the gig economy. So this is getting popular in the modern lifestyle, in urban lifestyle, and the word has its roots in the past. I'll tell you before going to the details. Let's understand what is the meaning. So this is the usual definition which you can get on the online resources. It's a labor market which is characterized by prevalence of short-term contracts or freelance work as opposed to permanent jobs. So what does it mean? That we have two ways of employment. One is a regular employment, which can be called as permanent employment, and the other can be a kind of temporary employment. Now the problem is when companies give a permanent job, permanent employment to employees, they have to bear the cost of the employee even if there is less work in some off-season period or due to some kind of economic cycles like recession. So they have a continuous burden on their finances. Moreover, the employee, if suppose employee is working in a job and it's a 10 to 6 job, even if there is no work in the job for some time, I just said because of off season, it can happen because of recession in the economy. So the person has to sit for no work, and there is potential of doing more work outside. Now, when the employee is working from home or working on contract, then what happens is there is a flexibility in terms and conditions of the job. So after finishing the task A, the employee can do other tasks, task B, task C, and he will have multiple sources of income that way. Companies are happy because when they do not have work, they do not have to pay that employee. Employee is happy because one company may have less work, but they can be, work in some other domain. And if the person has the talent, then, the person can work in multiple areas. So this is basically catching on these days because after Corona particularly, you could see that companies do not want to hire permanently. First, we have to understand that employment can be of two types, permanent and temporary. And gig means temporary. So it's a labor market or it's a style of business or style of employment which has short-term contracts like 3 months contract, 6 months contract, less than a year contract generally. And when the next season will come, the company will, in off season, they'll offload the people, they'll reduce the employment. And when on season, they have more to offer jobs, so they can hire more people. So accordingly, a person can also move and companies give them that kind of freedom. So this type of model is known as gig model. Now, let's see the employee side. If somebody is a gig worker or a gig employee, this person is engaging in some activities which are outside the traditional system. Now, there is a traditional system where employer and employee are, they have a bond. So we say permanent jobs are like just marriage and mostly without an option of divorce. And here also you could see that there is a traditional employer-employee relationship which is permanent, and this is also outside the informal sector, because in informal sector also you can find that some kind of agreement, some types of terms and conditions are quite visible. Now, in modern lifestyle, if you see, you find a lot of jobs like Ola, Uber, Swiggy, Zomato, people who are giving deliveries, the drivers, the moving inside, outside, they are doing this type of work. So this is how you can find this to be very popular. These delivery jobs, these type of workers you see around in large numbers these days. So this word gig comes from the past, where when the musicians were moving, the musicians, stage show comedians, they were not employees of anybody. So suppose you want to do some stage show, like suppose you want to do some concert or some program. So in marriages, in India, it is quite popular to hire somebody who can make some kind of musical program to entertain the guests. So that person is paid 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees for the show, and there is no permanent system required, because these type of occasions are randomly done in society by different people. So most of such people who are in entertainment industry, these stand-up comedians, the musicians, the singers, they are not salaried people. They move around, they find some work in society and they work. So from here they get they chosen the work gig, and then their payments is also not regular, but they keep on getting work from one or the other place, and you know how film stars are charging, so they are also gig workers. Now it can include freelancers, like I am writing books, I am writing some content for some publishers. So it's a freelance. Whenever I'm free, in the morning, in the evening, in the night, whenever I feel like working, I work. And although there is a deadline, like for some week or for months, I have to work for that. I have a target date of completion also, but there is no day-to-day requirement that I have to follow. Now, you can be independently working, and there is no requirement of a schedule. And these examples I've already given you. These are quite popular in society these days. So I have made some points from here just for your convenience. So whenever you watch this video again, you can revise these points so easily. So gig workers are different from the conventional or the traditional workers, because those have permanent kind of jobs, permanent salary, but there is no big scope of growing, because in gig type work you can do unlimited work according to your potential, and you have variability in work also. Mostly it suits the young enthusiastic people, although it is not good for old age people and some different type of people who are having lack of job security type and things in mind. So it is suitable for a class of people and it is unsuitable for a class of people. If suppose you are a student, you can also work in gig sector, because part-time job suits you. Apart from your study hours, if you can spend 2-3 hours, suppose on content writing, you can do some gig digital coaching to somebody. So these type of work suit you a lot. Housewives can work, senior citizen can work, retired people can work. So these all I have written here. Okay, these are some characteristics, and people have a lot of opportunities who want some short-time jobs. They do not want some permanent job. Now I can divide them into two types broadly. This is based on technology. Some are called platform workers. Let us understand first platform workers. So here platform here means some e-commerce platform or some mobile platform. So if suppose there is some kind of online system, some job which offers connectivity through a mobile application or some portal, some digital platform. For example, you have these Amazon, Flipkart, Swiggy, Zomato. So these are called platform worker. Obviously, it has nothing to do with the railway platform. So here it is actually online platform. So you all know that people love to do shopping online these days, and the delivery also comes at home, so they don't have to go to market. They can avoid the pollution, the traffic. So it is convenient for them. And on the other side, these companies who are offering these products, they give you huge discount because they are big wholesalers. They buy in bulk, and because of that, they offer you even a better price. So if you get a better price, if you get home delivery, so convenience is quite good. So such workers who are connected to these digital platforms can be called as platform workers. So this should be very clear that there are two types of workers, one who are digitally connected through some software and they will be called digital or platform workers. Second is non-platform workers, where there is no electronic software, they are working in some casual part-time job. Let us suppose we are talking about the construction sites. Now I am talking from Delhi and you could see that there is some kind of macro work going on, construction sites going on in Delhi. In NCR, probably in your city also you will find a lot of construction sites where people are required on day-to-day basis. Daily they will hire some hundreds of workers on the contract sites, and tomorrow the work may continue, they may increase or they may decrease the requirements, and accordingly it can be ups and downs. So this is how non-platform workers can also get kind of part-time job, and this you have seen in India for long. Lots of people around you have already been in this particular kind of model where jobs were there but on casual basis, and sometimes it forms the unorganized sector of India. So these are largely found in construction sector or some events where people are hired for that event only, and all these are physical. All the programs, even the musical programs, concerts I told you, they will be covered under non-platform or physical type. I think this should be very clear to all of you. It's very easy. Theory type is easy, but the practical part is going to be little different. So moving on, we have a whole part of economy which is called platform economy. So platform economy means these type of digital world, group of platform workers and the companies that are providing those platform work, they are collectively called platform economy. So if you study economy, you start with types of economy: main economy, parallel economy, circular economy, digital economy, blue economy. So these are some popular words when you start your preparation in economy. So the first thing that you should know in economics is the meaning of economy and how it is different from economics. And then we have different types of economy, and this is one of the type. We can call it platform economy. It's a collective word for the same sector. And similarly, we have two segments of the platform economy. One would be the employers, one would be the employees. And collectively, it can be called economy. So platform economy is composite of the platform workers or platform employees plus the platform employers who are giving jobs. I just gave you example of Amazon, etc., etc. Now, how it is, gaining popularity. I have given you briefly in the beginning of this session that it's good for both the sides. It is good for workers, it's good for the company. So what is the benefit of company? Benefit to company, since they do not have to pay permanently month by month on to the employee. Even without work they have to pay. Like in Corona, a lot of businesses got closed, a lot of restaurants, a lot of hotels got closed because there was no customer, but the employer or the owner was supposed to pay money, day and night to the employee because they were on the job but there was no work. So it's a cost effective solution for the employer. Then they have they can increase or decrease the size of the labor force according to the requirement of the job. Same way they can help in increasing the production. So there is a lot of flexibility for the employer, because when there is on season, that person can hire a lot of people. If it is off season, that those can be offloaded, and these people will go to some other sectors to do work definitely. So it is good for that side. And for employees also, it offers benefits. As I told you, that even employees are benefited because employees will get more varieties, they can, efficient people like you people probably are very young, you can do a lot of things together, you can do multitasking, you can have some kind of freedom to sit at home, you can work from home, you can work for many publishers, many institutes, many employers at one time, and you can make a lot of money in this. So there is independence, there is money, there is flexibility. All these benefits go to the gig employees or gig workers. Now, whatever has advantage, whatever has a plus point, has to have some minus point also. So you can, take the other side now. If gig workers have some benefit, they have some kind of limitations. Probably you can guess it. As I said in the beginning, that there is no permanent job between employer and employee. So this can be a limitation also. If you are not having a permanent job, and suppose for some time nobody offers you some work, you feel unemployed, you feel depressed, and this is the biggest problem. There is no job security, there is no social security, there is no bonding, there is no relationship. So these type of things are going to hurt the employees. On the other side, the employers, they also have some kind of disadvantages. Like if I am some company, I have no permanent, human resources, which I can feel proud of. So if my students are my assets, and they are attached to me for a longer period, I feel proud in having some relations with the hardworking students. But if suppose students are changing every day, somebody is coming, somebody is going, even I will not like it. So same for the employer. If companies side is seen, there are certain disadvantages. For example, I said that company is not having a committed team of workers, there is no permanent human resource, and then ethical issues are there, like there is uh, no commitment of that person for the employer's organization, because that person is not attached to the organization. That person is just busy in getting short-term money on day-to-day basis, and employers have that kind of vacuum in this ethical side. But when you are a permanent worker, you feel that this is your own organization. And worker side, I have already told you, they feel isolation. They have a lot of personal expenses, because if they are working for themselves, they have to bear all the expenses. If you are a permanent employee of a company, your company will reimburse for your transportation, for your uniform, for your incidental expenses. But in gig, nothing like this happens. So I hope you understand that there is no benefit like that. And one thing which I mentioned in discussion, that there is lack of social security, there is lack of job security, and mind it, both are quite different. In social security, you write something like pension, like there is no retirement pension to the employee. There are no festival leaves. These days we are celebrating festivals. So maternity leave, festival leave, and medical leaves, these type of things have no meaning in gig setup, because in gig it's point to point. You are hiring a person for a particular job, and whenever that person is doing that job, completed the job, the money is paid, and it's all over. So these are some implications of gig economy. I hope you enjoyed this small discussion on gig economy. Let us recapitulate this, what we have done. So if I take you to the beginning, we have quickly understood that gig is gaining popularity in modern society. First, you should know the meaning. Meaning means it is to be defined. Whenever you have a topic, you start with the definition. So this is a very valid definition. I have two definitions here, anyone you can choose. It's a kind of market, it's a kind of economy, it's a kind of system where there are short-term contracts, freelancing contracts, instead of having permanent kind of jobs. So this is the first thing that you should know. Now, you can define it in a different way also. It can be defined like this. It's an economy where organizations hire independent people, freelancers instead of full-time employees. So these are some standard definitions. Then you can give examples of some companies that you see around. Then I have discussed some characteristics with you. I told about the competitiveness of young people, which have huge scope for this. And then there is no conventional relationship between the employer and employee. Then this is quite fast and transparent system. Efficiency is quite high, and high skilled people, they get a lot of benefit. There is flexibility in working hours, and this can be an additional source of income for many. Just I have covered this point for students, but it can be extended for housewives, senior citizens, and so on. And then we shifted to the next thing, that how we classify the gig workers. So we discussed that there are two types of workers. One are called platform workers, the other are called non-platform workers. Platforms are related to some digital or e-commerce system, and physical, though we see from the ancient time. And then we discussed the advantages and the disadvantages of gig. And I have covered both the sides. I have covered the sides of employer and employee. Now, what is its importance in modern society? Let us quickly close with this particular part of the session. Now, this is gaining popularity. So, I saw this in the economic survey for the first time in 2020, because in Corona time, a lot of people face this problem. So, there was a growing need for such kind of flexible system, which started gaining popularity. And this is an estimate which says that in the next 10 years, gig economy can have some 250 billion USD value, and this can be more than 1% of GDP value for the country. And here, 4 sectors are having high potential. Construction, I have told you, has huge potential for gig worker, non-platform type. Manufacturing sector is also having a lot of assembly work is going on, where a lot of seasonal industries are going on. Retail is also another thing, and mostly right now it is in transport and logistics. You see Ola, Uber, and these delivery companies. So these are the maximum used jobs in the sector. So I call it gigable jobs. So this is the importance, and some data I have collected from different sources, and this says that there are already 68 lakh people employed, and there is already an estimate. Even this NITI Aayog has given a report, so I'll come to that after the end, and it is expected to expand to 2.35 crores by the financial year 30. So this is going to be a very handsome employment generator for India, and growing youth is, they're liking it. So this is the sector wise data. Once you understand, you can connect the topic to different sectors and scope in these sectors. And lastly, I have this report. This was a report published in June 2022. It is available on web, so you can read it. And this highlighted the scope for the India's booming gig and platform economy, although platform is a part of gig, but this is how it was given by NITI Aayog. And in this, you can find some statistics, some data, and conclusion at the end of the report given in this is given in the report, that it is a powerful driver of job creation, employment, economic growth, and inclusive opportunities, because the women and the youth, even students, and even the senior citizens who want some part-time work find a very big scope for gig work. And this is how I finish this topic. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
For more informative content, like share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.